Well, hello everyone. The Ontario Gardener here, back with another episode of Masterplan Tycoon. So, at the end of last episode, basically I let things run. I added a couple extra meals, and right now, let's go back to fast speed, is things are still running. But as you can see, mostly everything is stocked up. Now, iron and clay, and I think that's the only ones for now. Those are all from the brick mission. So we can't actually bring them across because doesn't work that way. And things are still running here because they're producing grain and we're using grain. And one little thing I will say is if you find yourself like waiting, struggling for resources, there's no harm in honestly just letting the game run for 10 minutes, a half an hour. The worst that happens is, well, nothing worse. The only thing that can happen is your storages will fill up. That's it. So it can give you a little bit of a buffer. So when you start going into the next tier things, you don't really you don't run out of things as quickly. And there's no reason to not let things here. We're producing tons of things right now. We have windows up, steel beams, and these things are all building materials on the top left. These aren't used as maintenance items. These are building items, and that's what you need to have to continue on. Because if you look under tier 4. Canned food, these all take steak, milk can, vest for maintenance, but they also take windows, steel beams, and windows. So they take a lot more resources. But going into tier 4, I think what we want to do is we have to figure out what we need. We need cattle farm, we need red pepper, and we need a cannery. And now the tutorial will just kind of lead you through doing each of these, so you might as well do it in order. Again, how much do we need? I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm not going to go too overboard with any of this, because there's no reason to go overboard, if that makes sense. And the can factory, we already have a can factory, so you don't need to make another one. Cattle farm and the red pepper farm work as like the grain farms and stuff. They're just farms, so you can kind of place them wherever you want. I think I'm going to place this one here. Let's go up one, and let's just do. I think I just want to do 4. Just for now, we'll do 4. As always, run these into you can run it down here. It doesn't matter where you put these, really. I think having things spaced out a little bit is good for things that have small radiuses. Things like your wood farms, for instance, you can put those as close as you want. But here, if you let there be 1, 2, 4 spaces in between, each little node occupies 4 blocks, like 4 individual sections, or basically a 2x2 area. So having it like this, you have to have a 1 tile buffer around everything, and then they'll start producing in the middle. And these are doing planting as well as gathering, which is perfectly fine. And this will just store up. We could probably leave it this far away. The next thing we're going to do is we have to make cattle farms. And we're going to do the same thing with this. So pepper farms, remember we have that 10% boost. Basically 1 minute you get 2, 1 minute you get 2. So it's kind of exactly, it is really exactly the same thing. And to save a little bit of space, well, no, we have to run it kind of the same way. We'll do it like this one, and then we'll do one here, we'll do one here, and we'll do one here. And what we could probably do, I'm going to leave this here. I'm not going to run things into that. I'm going to run this just like similar to this one. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but they will produce the same exactly, because cattle farms produce beef. A cow farm produces, well, cow and milk. So here we're just doing beef. This is not a dairy farm, if you will. And the next thing we got to do is do a cannery, and this is to get, well, canned food. And canned food is used as what? Well, it's used as we go later on for maintenance purposes. So I don't want to overload this too much. I think I'm going to stick to canned food. Honestly, if we have a little place to squeeze it in, which probably something right here would be sufficient. Actually, maybe we can find a better place where there's a lot of extra, like there's more space, or there's not tons of space, but we can kind of fit it in anywhere. Let's just do 1, 2. I think we'll be able to fit 3 in here, and 3 is perfectly fine. And we'll dump a storage. Like I said, all this is just trees. We can go right over top of that. It doesn't matter. This probably is going to have to be pushed out a bit farther. And then we can just drop them in like this. Because each one of these requires 3 things. We have red peppers, we have cans, and we have beef. So it's a matter of hooking it up. Now, maybe I don't know if there's going to be any sort of mod support with this game. I really have no idea. But basically to allow you to click and drag like this, and it'll just fill all 3 of these. I don't know. But right now we're filling up on everything we have here, and this is actually producing pretty quickly, the canned food. You get 2 every 45 seconds, which is pretty quick. But that's fine. We're going to let that run, and canned food will be used as we go along. Look at the coal and the steel already, how we're going downhill with that, because we're using so much already. Because we're using the steel beams to make things. And it's always good to check things. Look at the vest going way down, because these things need what? Steak, milk, and vest. So the idea is you know, having the this kind of buffer is you eventually want this to fill up, which is going to fill up. Was that tier 4? Want this to fill up, you know, before everything runs out, because that's kind of your issue here. We could probably even turn one of these off, but might as well leave it on. It just means we have to go back and do something differently. Now we have to do we skip over the wine apparently, so we're gonna do the boots. So steakhouse produces cow and leather. So right now we have steak and leather. I'm pretty sure we have steak and leather. Easy way to tell is you go in here, you go under. Where's a steak? We have leather right here, and we have steak right here. So we don't actually have to do that. We actually have tan leather as well, right? Let's click on this tan leather. We have tons of it, so we can just go right to boot factory, and I think we can pull that. What do they produce? It's 1 every 45 seconds. I think I'm gonna just do 3 for now, because these are just production buildings. They're not harvest buildings or supply buildings, I guess you'd say. Tan leather, tan leather, tan leather, because remember, tan leather is being used for other things as well. So let's do something like this, and eventually these will back up. Right now we're getting low on cow, low on vests, so we're actually out of vests right now. Wow, almost out of vests. So this is going to stop these other things that require vests, like this. After this maintenance run, these are probably going to stop, but you know what? We still have a good buffer up here, so it's okay. Now, the easiest thing to do would be to go in here and just turn this completely off, because we don't need to make. I'm just going to wait for this to go through just to see if we're going to be able to keep up with it or not. And as you can see, we don't have enough vests, but that's okay. Tan leather obviously need vests too. It would be nice if there'd be a drop-down menu somewhere, where not like this, where you could click and just say every boot factory you turn off or on. Maybe that's something that'll be added later on in the game. I don't know, because it'd be nice to go in here and say, you know, we're going to turn all these off, because these are taking vests, and we don't have vests, right? Now, the next one's going to be sand mine and glass. We have this vineyard to make grapes, of course. This requires steak, milk, and vests as well, and these both do. So we're going to do a couple of these. Where do we want to put this? We could probably put this. We're not going to do too many of these. Maybe one. Let's just put these real close together and just do 3 and call it a day. The vineyard, or vineyard, which is what it actually is called. We can put that, maybe we can put, how many can we put in here? Can we just do 2? Let's just, oh, we can't quite do 2. Okay. Can I move all these up 1? I probably can't. So let's see if I can shift this down 1. No. Okay, so we have to move this somewhere else, which it looks like we could probably move it right here. Yeah, we can definitely move it right here. We can do we'll do one more winery. We'll keep it small, because it makes sense to keep it small. You don't want to overload things, because then it's just not going to work. Is this going to connect? I don't know if it will or not with this setup. It goes very, very slow, and it will not. If we push this over 1, we cannot. We can actually push this over 2. Push this over 2, and then connect that up. Perfect. And we can grab grapes, and we can grab glass right from this. And the grapes, I don't know if I actually have grapes connected yet, do I? I don't have them connected to anything, but we can connect them. You know what? Let's just connect them to their own storage. We have plenty of space. That way we don't lose out on too much over here as far as space goes. What I also want to do is come in here. As long as you move this like this, you just move these over top of everything, and it gets rid of what used to be there. And that's kind of exactly what we want to do here. We can actually push this down like that, push this like that, and then push this one. We can go down 1, and that's not going to be able to go push up 1, and then we can connect the grapies like that. And then we'll be able to build, or, you know, produce all around those. And that's going to be perfectly fine for us, because we're going to come back over here, and where we do in the winery is pushing up, but look, it needs vests. So that's what we're kind of, it's funny because we let vests build up and build up and build up, but the problem is like we ran out of vests that quickly. And everything trickles down to vests, right? So it's like, okay, well, where are we making vests at? Let's go take a look. So here we're making moonshine, tannery. We're only making 1 thing of vest, but we have tons of tan leather. So I think what we got to do is we got to come in here, and we got to make more vests somewhere else. So I'm going to get rid of that. Let's find us a nice spot where we could kind of make a bunch of vests. Not too crazy. I think maybe right here would be a nice place. Let's go into the vest factory, which is just a leather workshop basically. Let's go in here and let's just do 1, 2, 3. So it'll triple what we had. So that should be helpful for us. This to this, because everything like the winery is waiting on vests, right? So having this will help us out a little bit more. And we're almost done making the wine that we need to make. We need to make 4 more, and we're making the vine. Making the wine over here, but what are we waiting on? Vests. So let's check out our steak and our milk. So right now, milk is good and steak are good. Even though we're using them, this is a good balance. But also, it's because we also have no cows. Why do we have no cows? What? Where are the cows being made at? Or being... Why do we have any cows? Where is my cow farm at? That I'm a little confused. Here, what's the problem? Are we just going through it too quickly? Also, this is not helping, having this like this. Cow farm, cow farm, cow farm. I think I want to spread this out a little bit more. Have each one of these have 4 in between. Something like this. Kind of how we did some of the other ones. Because there's no reason to, and then we can push this one. There we go. Now everything should be, again, they're making cow and milk, right? We're stocking up on both. So we'll let this run. It'll be perfectly fine. All right, so now we got on to ships. The next thing. But we got to be careful with that. Here we're lacking what? We're not lacking everything. We're full. So here, when the little light bulb lights up the bottom left corner of the screen here, that means that you have more research you could do. So upgrades, farm and plantation speed 2 increases by another 10%, which is exactly what we need. So this is going to be, we need 20 cows. So how are we doing on cow right now, by the way? We should be producing cows pretty well right now. But they're all going into what? You can tell what goes what, because cow stuff is brown, and cow is all going into what? Steak and leather. Leather is going to be used for vests, probably, something like that. And here we're just waiting on, we have no cow. So that's the issue here. So we may have to go through this a bit, and how can we streamline this? If we just have this one just doing growing, and we have this one here just doing growing as well. It just means, because though they grow faster than they harvest, because they're planting one every 10% less, but every 30 seconds, 27 seconds, and they're harvesting this, has to do this, then it has to do this. So basically it takes 4 cycles of this to produce this, basically. And as you can see how much faster it's going now, this is exactly what I was talking about. So now we're producing more cow. We're still at 0, but that will pick up a little bit. Now, the thing is, though, is there's no way to... If we go back to where is cow coming out of? If we go through here, and if we just want to get cow, let's just get rid of all these. There you go. Because guess what? Now cow will start being built up in here. And what we need to do is we want to get the upgrades. So we basically need 20 cows. So what we'll do is we'll wait here. This will go fairly quickly. We're already at 6. Probably got 10 already. You got 8, 9, 10. There's a steady stream of them coming in. So we actually have quite a lot in here now. This one's a bit kind of iffy because it's doing both things. But that's the only thing. We don't really need to do both things, do we? How many cow? We have 17, 18, 19. Come on, 2 more. There they go. 1, 2, and... Come on, cow. There should be tons more cow. There we go, 21 cow. So we want to definitely do this because it produces another 10%. So now we're going to have a 20% speed bonus when this ticks over. And then what that does mean is we can go back here to where the cows are being... Again, I guess I could go through every building and just pause the building. But honestly, it's probably just as fast to click off all of these instead of going in each one and hitting pause. Again, this is where I wish there'd be a global pause. Like you click on this and it says, pause this factory only, or all cow factories, or all steak houses, right? To me, that would make a lot of sense. Here, we're still lacking cow, of course, but we're going to be producing more cow as we go along here. And I think what I want to do is probably, let's split this up a little bit and take all of these away, because it's a pretty big distance how far we are traveling for this. So we're going to go back to steak. We're going to go back to cow farm. You want to put in, let's see, that, I think. And we're going to do one more. I can't really do it there, but that's okay. And we'll do is we'll put this one right about here. And then because what I want to do is just have these going to a little bit of a shorter location, or a shorter span, or whatever you want to call it, shorter distance, I guess. There, and then we'll do this one, and we'll do this one. So these are going to do whatever. This one here is just going to do growing. This one in the middle is just going to do production. And I think this one here is just also going to do just production. And then this one could do both, because once they're completely full with something, they won't keep doing it. So the issue here is what? There's no resources, and there's no resources because why? Because we're just doing growing, so we should turn it back on. You should have them. There we go. So what are we lacking here? No, we're okay. We're okay. We're doing pretty good. Yeah, here we go. So cows are like, it shows that we're actually producing a decent amount now, but you can see how much, like, we have 0 coal now. We have no overalls, and I mean, if you're struggling with something like this, you could either scale this way back, or just have one production line per thing, or let it run. Like, you step away from your computer for 10-20 minutes, and it'll keep on rolling. But as you can see, our building materials at the top are ready to go. So there's no reason to not keep producing, or at least laying out what we want to do. So the next thing we have to do is eventually we have to make our way up to here. We have to dump port. We have to dump cotton into this. So what we can actually do is just place this right here, because cotton has to go across to your port. We also have the, where's the other one? Don't we have the limestone? We also have the limestone mission, which we don't know what that takes yet, because we're not at that yet. But we have to do a rope workshop, sail makers, and anchor workshops. And I think we should probably be able to fit all that stuff maybe right in here somewhere. Let's just see what we need to get these things. So, whoops, rope, we need cotton plantation. You have cotton, we don't need to do that. So, rope workshop, let's just do 2 rope workshops. Sails, we have the rope, okay, the rope workshop, and cotton. We have cotton, we're gonna need a lot more cotton, I think. We have this, so this is 1 every 30 seconds, so we can do 2. And this may seem a little odd the way we're doing this, but trust me, it'll work out. And then we have this, and we have to do anchor workshop. So this actually uses steel beams. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do 2 of every one and just call a day. And we're going to dump. So basically what we're doing with this is a little wonky, because we're taking cotton, dumping to rope, and then we're spitting it back out on this side. So it's a bit kind of, it is what it is, but I think it'll work out just fine. Oops, I didn't want to move that. This can go here. This can go here, and then we're going to bring the steel beams. Here's where we're going to start using steel beams for actual production too. So it's going to be a bit iffy when we do that, but again, all we needed really to do is make a certain amount, and that's what we need to go into the next mission, which is going to be the port mission. But what I'm not going to connect this yet. I don't want to do that. Cotton, still looks like we're producing more than we're using, or somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's close. You may have to do a lot more cotton, but we're doing fine. Look at the grain. Look how much grain we got going. Oh my gosh. Grain everywhere. At least everything's hooked up and running. So we're making everything here. Like, this is still running, fairly okay. Oh, we made what we need, or we got what we needed. Push this back a little bit. Alrighty, so now we have 2 choices. We can go to the limestone mission, but we need rum for that. And the problem with that is we don't have rum. We don't have rum here. There's no rum here. So we actually have to go to the, I don't understand how like, we can go there, but we can't do anything, because we need to have rum going in, and we don't have rum. So what we got to do is we got to go up to here. We're going to connect this to cotton, and this is going to just pump out cotton. Now, we are definitely losing cotton, or out of cotton. So what we're going to do is when we get into the next location, we actually need 12 rope for maintenance. Wow, that's a lot of ropey. That's a lot of rope-a-dope to give us 1 rope every 30 seconds. This needs 12 every, geez Louise, whatever. Where are we at here? Where's rope? Rope is here somewhere. Rope is here. Yeah, so wow, that's tough. But that's okay. So it's time to send our first exploration. So it says 0 of 12. I don't know why it's 0 of 12. We have 5 of 28. Why is it 28, by the way? Oh, it's because of the storage, right? The storage is... No, that doesn't make any sense. I wonder why it's at 28. But for some reason, this isn't counting up. I don't know why, but we can go to the islands anyway. So here's where we're at. We have the port coming into cotton, and then we have, remember, we only have timber. We only have actually, do we even have any timber? What? Hold on. Timber. Why is it called timber? Was there literally an update between these two? Hold a second. Let me just check something, because it makes me believe that there was literally an update in between when I made these episodes. No, okay, they're called planks. Okay, so it's for some reason it's just called timber. I don't know why, because we can actually make timber. It could have to do with bamboo. But what we gotta do is we're gonna bring the cotton in just to bring it in, I guess. But we have to go back here. So what we need is we got to make timber, but you make it from bamboozle. So because we have a bunch of bamboozle right here, we might as well use this up. I don't know how many I can actually make. I got to be careful because we need to make... Oh, timber is made from bamboo. So basically we're producing 2 every 30 seconds and we need 2 every... So these are actually 1-to-1s. I am still going to do my normal thing of dumping everything. I got to be careful, though, because of, well, we're actually using up this anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant that this is even here. We're going to dump everything into the storage as we did before, and we're going to do some bamboo factories. It is a 1-to-1, so if we have 2, we could, oh, we can't actually afford 2. Whoopsies. Whoopsie doodles. That's fine. And we can dump this up to here. And then, yeah, so what we're going to do here is, yeah, we're going to have most of them doing cutting, and we'll have a couple doing planting. And as we get more timbers, which are going to be popping out right here, actually, can we afford that? Again, we're right back to where we were before. We can't because we have no stone either. So what we actually have to do is resource this, and we probably have to resource. No, we can make a quarry, I believe. We can make 1 quarry, and then we're gonna have to dump that. Remember, this is just like starting any of the other missions, where you have to like have your basic materials, or you're not gonna get anywhere. The issue here is I need this to connect to that. So I basically need to bring this and do this. Just for now. It always starts the same way because you only bring a certain amount of things with you. And then you got to be careful with what you have, you know, not left over, but what you still have to use, right? So as we're loading up on stone and timber, we can start to put down. We have a lot of timber now, which is a good thing. How do we do to make bamboo? Do we need timber for that? We just need timber. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in through here and we're just going to load this up. I don't know how many we're going to need. But because this has such a huge radius, it really doesn't matter how we load it up. It really means nothing because it's so big. The radiuses are so big on these things, or the diameter, I guess, are so big. You're gonna never run out like doing it like this. But what you want to do is you want to have, say, this one. Actually, let's just do this one here. Is doing planting, and what we'll do is we'll have this one up here doing planting, and well, let's just have that one just doing planting. That may hold up again. Once it's full, then it's full, so it doesn't really matter, right? All right, let's do the bamboo factory. We need stone for that. We actually have a bunch of stone. We're gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this because this requires probably what? No, it has no maintenance to it yet, which is good. Which is a good thing, because we are going to need maintenance. I can see, look at there, well, fishery. So we definitely are going to need that type of stuff. So we're going to need fishery, which is timber, and water is also timber. So what we'll do first is put a storage building. And I think what we'll do is we'll just do 1 here. Look at this already. How crazy this is as far as how they're loaded up. So that's, where are we at here? One of these can do cutting. This one here can also do cutting. Okay, so much here. All right, let's go back into doing some fisheries. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4. If I can fit 4 in here. Let's just move all these down 1. Just so I can fit this in here. Or maybe not. There we go. Let's just connect all these up. 4 is probably good for now because these are just your basic buildings. Your basic buildings, I guess you would call it. I don't know. And we're going to do a little bit of water action because we need water action. Let's just do 1, 2, 3. I can just go straight down the line like that, which is perfect for us. And remember that the lower tier items build ridiculously fast, which does make sense. All right, so we have everything going here. We have to hook up the timber. This we can get rid of. Honestly, we don't need this anymore. We can make this go straight across here. Connect the timber up. Connect that and connect that. All right, now we're producing crazy amounts of timber. So we have to then come back in, and now we need to make banana farms and cocoa plantations. So we're going to do like the same thing is we're at tier 6, by the way. Banana farms, they have small radiuses, so we can't go too crazy with these. We have to kind of do it how we did the other ones. Put is that enough? 1 1 2, yeah, that's enough. Something like this. Oh, can I not afford it? Oh, what do I need yet? What do I need to make these? Oh, we need the stone. We need stone. So stone. Yeah, okay. We need to make more stone now. Let's go back here. Let's start over. Let's just go back. Go back. We're gonna have stone here, and then we're gonna do stone here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump a storage bin right about here. Close this off. Look how much freaking wood we got. Oh my gosh, timber is nuts right now. This, and I want to find another location that has stone. There's a little bit there. Is there any big pockets of stone anywhere? This is going to be a Death Island. We don't want to go to Death Island right now. Look how big this map is. Like, it's ridiculous. Look, all right, here, this is not stone. That is going to be limestone. Look how big this is. I just want to find a pocket of that oil island. We're not anywhere near any of that yet. I just want to find some more stone, but we don't really have more stone. We have a little bit here, a little bit there. So let's see once what we could do as far as quarries. As far as what we could kind of fit in along here. We could probably put one there. All right, let's just see if we can put a storage unit somewhere up in here that'll actually connect everything. And then 3, 2, 1, and that, and up, and there, and then this one's here, and this one's here. Why does that not want to connect? There we go, and there we go. Okay. Can I, how low down can I bring this? There we go. Okay, so now we have more stone coming in. Look how big these islands are, and they're big because why? Because we're going to need them. This is exactly what we want to do here as far as the banana farms. Let's go back to tier 5, and I just want to load up because banana farms need what? Fish and water. So there's no reason to not load up on these like crazy. That should be sufficient. We might have an extra one in between here somewhere, but I think we're fine. And we're going to do a storage unit. One storage unit is probably... It's probably fine. This is not working because why? Oh, because we don't have a storage building. That's why. Because it has to pull the resources from there. And the only downside with doing it like this is you do lose a lot of area here, but should be perfectly fine anyway. We're going to have gathering and producing because it's just 2 things. And the gathering is twice as long. Everything takes 24 seconds. So in the course of 1 minute, you're going to have 2 bananas per minute. Basically, is how it's gonna go. Well, a little bit more than. A little bit over that minute, but this is fine. Excuse me. Because remember, when you go back into a different mission, this stuff is still going to run, which is the beauty of how this works. Is they're still going to run. Let's push that up one time. Okay. Next thing is cocoa plantation. They need the same thing. So what we could do, we can't place it. Well, we can't place it there. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this right about here. Is that in line with that? And we're one too high. So I like doing things a little bit uniform. I think it kind of makes things look a bit nicer doing it like that. And we're going to go here, we're going to do here, we're going to go here, and we're going to do here. And then we have 6, right? We can do 6 as well for this one. I think that's going to be perfectly fine. And we're going to dump that right about here. Perfect. Yeah, because cocoa actually has a decent rate. Well, it has a bigger radius than your animals and like your sheep and stuff. So that's a good thing. Dump this here, and what I want to do here is actually move this one all over the place to get rid of all this timber. Now the timber is good to have, or I should say the bamboo is good to have in the beginning, but it's not really needed as time goes on. You can see here we're rolling along, everything's the storage is full, so we're kind of full up on everything. We're probably going to be full up on cocoa pretty quickly. There we go, perfect. So the next thing we got to do is do bananas, and this actually only needs fish and water as well. So this is pretty easy. 1 every 45 seconds. This is producing 1 every. Well, basically, this is a 2-to-1 operation because these are producing 2 in the same time. This is doing 1, so it's a 2-to-1. So theoretically, we could have 12 of these, but we're not going to do 12, are we? No, we're not going to do 12 at all. We're going to do probably 6, and I think what I want to do is. Well, we could run it. We could run them right like this. So what I want to do is I want to just put another one of these here. And the reason why is because that way we can have these a lot closer together. We can run them here. Something like that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we need 6? No, we don't need 6, but we're going to make 6 anyway. And this is actually fine because we could actually kind of double this up a little bit instead of Actually, it doesn't really matter how you do it. You could run these three like this. This isn't necessary. I was just thinking of having a separate inlet and separate inlet for these. But then this is fine. It doesn't really change anything, honestly. We'll drag this over to here. This can go as tight as you can make it, really. Question is, do we have enough water and do we have enough fish? Oh, we have tons of that. I wish everything would just run off of fish and water. But it does not. And eventually you're going to get into things like this that definitely don't. Well, they also run off of fish and water, which is super interesting, by the way. So we need sugarcane. We need the stuff just like we had before. So we're going to run that probably right about here. I'm just going to do this, that, this. Is that one too many? No, and then we do one more here, I think. Is that going to be good? I think that's plenty of space in between, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is fine. All right, we're going to drop a storage unit, of course. This needs what? Well, it has no storage, so you can't get maintenance without storage. Because the storage units are universal, like how they connect, or not universal, they're kind of like invisibly connected with each other, which is a good thing. There's sugarcane, and we need the bamboozle plantations, and these, look how big these are. But the thing is that we already have bamboo being made, so guess what? Do we need to make more? No, we do not. Look at the bamboo. Look at this, is insane. Holy jeez Louise. Are any of them just doing planting? If they are, we need to just cut that out. My gosh. Bamboo or timber. It's funny they call it timber. It's just called like bamboo wood or something. I don't know. All right, so what we're going to do is we have all this. This is going to take a little bit of time to get up and running. So I think what we could probably do is squeeze this in probably right here. Let's just look what it takes. So this is 1 every 45. This is 2 every 45, basically. So, I mean, we could put a ton of these. But I think what we'll do is we'll just do 1, 2. Let's just do 4 for now. I think that's a good number. And we can kind of drag this down into here. And then we can let this run. And like I said, at the end, you know, if you get to a place where you're like, all right, I did everything I need to do on this island, just step away from the computer for a little bit. There's no harm in letting it run. To kind of stock up on things, and it'd be very, very difficult for something to totally break, as far as like break in general work. As long as you have fish and water, enough fish and water to keep your initial buildings going, nothing should, like, you can't really break something. Look at this. This is insane. Look, this is all up and running. Good, good, good. It's because we're not using bananas. That's the problem. We're not using any of it right now. We're actually into here. I mean, we're starting to use it, but look at the rum coming in. Now, remember, rum is what we need to push out. We need to push rum out of here. Cotton we're not using yet, so we're not really, it's kind of irrelevant at this point. So what we could actually do right now is, because we're making tons of rum, I really don't want to bring in cotton yet because we don't need cotton. What we could do is, what we'll do real quick, let's just go real quick to the limestone mission. Actually, no, we have to go back to the main island, because rum's coming out and cocoa's coming out. And then what we got to do is go down here where the limestone mission is and dump our rum into that. The only problem, for some reason, it doesn't look like the rum is coming out. Why is that? That's very interesting. Why is rum not coming out of this? Interesting. Oh. No. We have rum. Don't we? We're making... Is it because we don't have cocoa as well? Do you need both for it to work? That wouldn't make any sense. Oh, no, this is... Yeah. Oh, because it needs rope. It needs rope. And rope is made how? With cotton, which we don't have cotton, remember? But what we need to do is we got to go in here. We got to go to our construction. And our cotton plantation here will unlock the ability to build cotton plantation in the islands. So what we do, we actually have to bring in the cotton here then. That's the whole purpose of bringing cotton in here. We have to wait for cotton to... Where's cotton? We have cotton and we have rum. We actually have enough here. Can we unlock this in here? I think we have to unlock this back at the main island. Let's see if we can unlock that here. We need cotton and we need rum. So rum is out. Where is... We should have rum... why don't... I'm trying to think, why does this not... why can't this work? Cotton... See, we're not in the islands, right? So we can't obviously do it here. What's the problem? I think we just have to make the rope here. Okay, We have cotton coming in. We just need to make the rope here. I'm silly. We can just do this. This is okay. It's kind of like, this doesn't make any sense. No, it's because you have to kind of do, was it the chicken before the egg or something? So we got to bring the cotton in so the cotton we have brought in, the maintenance is being done here with bananas and rum. And this is something. Sometimes there's little glitches here with this rope. Right. So we need the rope to be able to activate this to send it to the next location. But what we're going to do, guys, we're actually going to stop here because we need to then make ponchos, which we can make ponchos by what? By alpaca farms. What? Alpaca farms and our poncho darner, which is I think a term of making you darn wool and stuff. So this is going to be cool. This should be pretty simple, by the way. But what we're going to do is, guys, we're going to end it here. We're a little bit over time. I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please sincerely leave me a like as well as a comment. It would be much appreciated. Look at this band. Look at all this. I love how this is all built up. It's amazing. If you're enjoying this series, guys, hit the subscribe button, tick the bell notification icon. Also, in the description below, The Ontario Outdoorsman. If you'd be so kind to head on over to my second channel, leave me a subscribe there. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the month and 1,000 by the end of the year. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you next time.